Welcome back to Thai Talk with Dan Unleashed. Today we're going to talk about the hidden class system in Thailand. Now most foreigners go to Thailand thinking one thing: everyone is equal, everyone is smiling, and everyone is just living simple and happy lives. It looks more relaxed, it looks easy, but underneath all of that, Thailand has one of the most subtle but powerful class systems you will ever come across. And the crazy part, most foreigners don't even realise it exists because it's not loud, it's not aggressive, it's not openly talked about, but it affects absolutely everything: who you date, who you marry, how people treat you, and how far you can go in life. So today we're going to break it all down for you. Part 1. Thailand isn't classless, it's structured differently. Let's get one thing straight. Thailand absolutely has a class system. It just doesn't look like the UK. There is no obvious working class versus upper class label being thrown around. Instead, it's based on a mix of wealth, education, family background, social connections, and status. Thailand is still heavily influenced by hierarchy. Respect flows upwards, status matters, and people are very aware of where they stand, even if they don't say it out loud. Now a quick reality check with numbers. Thailand is one of the most unequal countries in Southeast Asia when it comes to wealth distribution. The top 10% of the population controls over 70% of the country's wealth. Now let that sink in. That's a massive gap. So while you might see modern malls and luxury cars, there's also a huge portion of the population earning very modest incomes. Minimum wage in Thailand sits at around 300 to 350 baht per day, depending on the region. That's roughly 7 to 8 pounds per day. Now compare that to the lifestyle you see in Bangkok's high-end areas. Two completely different worlds. Now let's talk about the high soul culture, high society Thailand. You'll hear this term a lot if you spend enough time in Thailand. High so, short for high society, and this is the top tier. We're talking about wealthy families, business owners, politically connected individuals, people educated at elite schools. These people live in a completely different reality. Luxury condos, international schools, private hospitals, high-end social circles. And here's the thing, they don't mix much outside their class. Education equals status. One of the biggest markers of class in Thailand is education. Where you studied matters a lot. Top Thai universities like Chulalongkorn University or Thammasat University carry serious prestige. Then you've got people who studied abroad in the UK, the US, Australia. That instantly boosts status. It's not just about knowledge, it's about perception. Now connections matter more than you think. Thailand runs heavily on connections. Who you know can be just as important as what you know. This affects job opportunities, business deals, social mobility. If you're in the right circle, doors will fly open. But if you're not, you might not even know those doors exist. Now, let's flip the coin, Because most of Thailand doesn't live the high soul lifestyle. A huge portion of the population is working in agriculture, service industry, tourism, or factory jobs. These are the people keeping the country running, and their reality is vastly different. Now, as mentioned earlier, many people earn close to minimum wage. Opportunities for advancement can be limited, especially if you didn't go to a top school, you don't have connections, you come from a rural background. Education quality also varies massively between urban and rural areas, so from a young age, the gap is already forming. A lot of people move from rural areas to cities like Bangkok or Phuket for work. This creates another layer of class division: urban versus rural, educated versus non-educated, and connected versus disconnected. And again, it's not always openly discussed, but it's felt. So, how does this all affect relationships? And this is the part where it gets real. And it's also the part foreigners really don't understand. Class in Thailand plays a huge role in relationships, and if you ignore it, you'll get confused very quickly. Family expectations are massive. When you date someone in Thailand, you're not just dating them, you're dealing with the family, and families care about your income, your stability, and your status. If you don't meet expectations, there can be pressure, even if the relationship itself is genuine. Also, Thailand places a huge emphasis on saving face. How things look from the outside really matters a lot. So relationships are often influenced by social perception, reputation, and status alignment. If there's a big class gap, it can create tension, even if nobody says it directly. So, why do some relationships feel transactional? And this is where, again, a lot of foreigners get it wrong. They think this person only cares about money. And that's true sometimes, but it can be way more complicated than that. Financial support can be tied to family expectations, cultural norms, and economic reality. But at the same time, yes, there are situations where it becomes purely transactional, and understanding the class system helps you see the difference. Now, here's something interesting for you. As a foreigner in Thailand, you can jump the class system, at least on the surface. Being a foreigner often comes with perceived status. People assume you have money, you have opportunity, you come from a better system, even if it's not true. So someone who is average back home can feel high status in Thailand. But it's not always real, and this is where people get caught out, because that perceived status isn't always backed by reality. If your finances don't match the lifestyle, things can fall apart very quickly, and then suddenly you're not as high status as you thought. Now, to be truly honest, most foreigners only see one slice of Thailand, usually in the tourist areas, the nightlife, the short-term relationships, and that is not real Thailand. That's a bubble. And when there is only limited exposure, it equals wrong conclusions. If you only interact with bar workers, tourist staff, and short-term acquaintances, you're not seeing the full picture, so you end up making assumptions that are completely or totally way off. Thailand is incredibly diverse socially, but a lot of foreigners treat it like one uniform culture, but it's not. There are huge differences between urban and rural, rich and poor, educated and non-educated, and if you ignore that, you misunderstand everything. So here's the reality. Thailand isn't just beaches and cheap food. It's a structured society with layers most people never notice. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. If you understand the class system, you understand relationships better, you understand behaviour better, and you avoid a lot of mistakes because you're no longer looking at Thailand through a tourist lens. You're seeing it for what it really is. Thailand isn't simple. It just looks that way until you start paying attention. I hope that you have learned something within this video. This has been Thai Talk with Dan Unleashed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves and ciao for now. Bye bye.